A jailed MAGA rioter has been trying to help fellow convicted felon and former President Donald Trump retake the White House. I mean, talk about birds of a feather, right? Now, Edward Jake Lang from his prison cell recently spoke to Rolling Stone and claimed that he is on a divine mission. That's right, it's a divine mission. He said, quote, God put into my heart to get the ball rolling. Now, what are you talking about? Ball rolling. For what? To get Trump in the White House, of course. How? By starting a militia. I kid you not. Now, his militia is called the North American Patriot and Liberty Militia, or Napalm USA. Yes, napalm. Now, he says that it will take to the streets to put Trump back in the White House by force if necessary. Now, look, this is pretty serious. There's a lot of right-wing militias that are very well armed and could do considerable damage if they wanted to. This one, however, well, based on the interview and the facts around it, I'm not sure this one is much to worry about, okay? Rolling Stone writes, as a paramilitary force, Lang's militia may be more intimidating in high concept than in physical reality. Well, thank goodness. They explain that its launch has been dogged by inflated membership rolls, supposed group leaders saying that they have nothing to do with the militia, a canceled Instagram account, and a militia name so cringe that has already been discarded. Wow. All right, then. So, hey, sorry, Tim Pool. No Civil War for you today.
Whoopsie.
Okay. Now, the publication reached out to John Lewis. Now, he's a research fellow at the program on extremism at George Washington University. He dismissed the idea that Lang could, in the near future, form a militia truly capable of wielding mass violence on Trump's behalf. Quote, I think Jake is a grifter who's trying to appeal to the absolute lowest common denominator. This is a guy who has somehow stayed relevant by claiming he's like the OG political prisoner. Yeah. I mean, that's what he literally says on his Twitter/X account. Okay. I am the OG political prisoner. No, you're not a political prisoner. You're an idiot. You got arrested for being violent towards police officers during a riot. In fact, he is dangerous. He is a violent person. Don't get me wrong. According to federal prosecutors, Lang not only assaulted police on January 6th, but also vowed to become even more violent in the future. So there is promises there. Specifically, Lang said that after the riots, the next time he and his fellow Trump supporters would use guns. On the grounds the First Amendment didn't work, we pull out the Second. So now, let's be honest, January 6th was not a peaceful First Amendment gathering, okay? There was violence. They just didn't have guns. So that is a concern. He has done violence, and he will likely do so again if given the chance. Now, that said, the idea that he will be backed by tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of patriots, that's not a reality. According to an article in Wired, Lang claims that the group's Telegram chats have over 20,000 members. Ooh, strong. However, the number has actually been disputed by experts who have reviewed the channels, with some having fewer than 200 participants. So, yeah, massive inflation, okay? And of that, I doubt most of them would put their bodies on the line for Trump. There are numbers of people who would be willing to do that. They're maybe in the, tens, maybe in the hundreds, thousands perhaps, but nowhere near tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, okay, or millions. Now, getting back to the Telegram accounts, I'm going to bet that there may be more than a few feds in there just trying to keep an eye on things. That's what I'm guessing, okay? Now, as for the other militias, by the way, is there a reason to be concerned about some of these right-wing militias? Well, according to the director on the Center on Terrorism, Extremism, and Counterterrorism, most militias who are right-wing and identify as constitutionalists typically try to follow the law and even reject members with criminal convictions. And she adds, many of them were quite upset about January 6th and for what it meant for the country. In this case, Napalm was one of several groups using constitutionalists to falsely assert the legality of their actions, both past and potentially future. The group's name was similarly chosen to be appealing, titillating even to people who want to envision themselves as warrior patriots willing to put their own safety on the line for what they believe to be the good of the country. So, again, this is more of, I guess this is LARPing, essentially. This is patriot freedom. Like I don't know. It's LARPing. Like, you're trying to claim to be like, I am this revolutionary here that is coming to retake America from Donald Trump. I'm just like the guys who dumped the tea in the harbor. No, you're not. You're still an idiot. Okay. Now, getting back to Lewis, he says this, quote, "It is crucial to make clear that this is barely a coherent group, and by all accounts, Lang is massively overstating the following he has here. This is his latest effort to remain relevant before his trial, where he will almost certainly be found guilty." Now, I think at the end of the day, I think there should be concerns about lone wolves or small groups of people like this guy who are clearly violent and have violent tendencies and beliefs, right? The idea, though, there will be this massive MAGA army that will rise up for Donald Trump. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think that the Trump army, the MAGA guys, they're going to vote. That's fine. They're going to be in social media. They're going to complain. They might even, do threats. I mean, they've been threatening Alvin Bragg, the DA of New York. They've been threatening judges and things like that. And that's serious, right? But I think that's the extent of what the vast majority of the MAGA guys will actually do. I think very few of them either will or are even capable of doing violent acts, at least en masse. The thing that you got to worry about, though, and the thing that could be the most devastating, are the lone wolves, the one or two people who have it in their heads to do stuff like this, to do violence on behalf of Trump. And so I think that's where the focus needs to lie. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.